Good.
Can't record now. Okay. So, I wouldn't say I was terrified about Friday, but I mean, I threw this out there on Tuesday and went, now let's see what happens. And it was so cool. The energy was so good. The energy was so good, and people met each other. Whereas sometimes you go to a networking thing, you do your 1 minute spiel, you eat your lunch, somebody presents, you all go home. You may have talked to one or two people, but it didn't get very intimate. And it was cool. It was really cool. So that kind of gives you a little bit of idea, Anita, how I choose to do sales. Okay. I hate elevator speeches. Okay. Let me just tell you a little story to give you an idea of, you guys keep talking about the people in your phone, your people. And I'm just going to tell you straight out, you don't have to sell to your people if you don't want to. I don't even like to sell to my own people. We lived in North Dakota for a while, and we moved to Montana. At the time, I was selling scrapbooking stuff, so I was documenting trips. I knew nobody. I had no circle of influence whatsoever. None. Zippo. Zero. Nothing. And I had a goal to book 8. We did parties. Okay. I had a goal to book 8 parties in 30 days. And I did it. And you can meet perfect strangers and build a clientele if you want, to be quite frank. There's absolutely nothing wrong with it. If you don't want to sell to your people, I don't care. I'll give you tools to do it. But if you'd rather deal with strangers, that's okay too if you want. Do you know what I mean? There's a lot of ways to skin a cat. Okay. One of the things I'm a huge believer in, like I have a class that I do on finding new people, like I did when I moved to Montana. And my thing is, you're just going to start talking to people, and your whole goal in the back of your head, 100% the goal is going to be you're going to make new friends. Maybe 50% of them will end up customers. Like there was this gentleman at my house last night, and he goes, the reason I don't do sales is because my dad did. And his attitude was everybody's a potential customer. I said, no, they're not. That's stupid. I said, first of all, like I have a book on goal setting, okay? And I always tell people, everybody doesn't have to like my ideas. 1/3 of 1%, 0.3% of the country is 1 million people. I don't even have to have 1% of people of the country like my idea to make a heck of a lot of money. Does that make sense? Okay. Everybody doesn't have to like it. It doesn't have to be for everyone. Everybody doesn't have to like to cruise or travel. It doesn't matter. But start just being people's friend. And if for some reason, traveling comes up, someone that you see obsessed with travel is not going to go, no, please make me pay twice as much.
Right.
Right? Okay. It's okay that everybody you talk to isn't into traveling. Who cares? Right. Okay, it's not necessary. Phyllis was just telling me, you get 4 people in your first whatever, you get $500 and whatever dollars. Seriously, 4 people. How many people are in your list on your phone? Okay, it doesn't have to be everybody. It's totally okay. And you guys have these fun things with your sign. I watched your video. Okay, your sign. Don't tell me that when you have someplace you've traveled and you have your sign that there isn't somebody that makes a comment.
Yesterday.
Okay, guess what? I have a way for you to follow up with that person without being pushy.
Okay, good.
What did you think of that? Have you ever wanted to travel there? How easy is it to say, hey, where have you wanted to travel? Well, nowhere. I'm scared of going anywhere. I don't like to fly, and I never get on a boat. I have motion sickness. Okay, we know not to keep talking to that person about it. Dead. Quit talking. Don't offer it to them. They're not, it's stupid. Right. Someone who is allergic to every food and only lives on cereal and frozen pizza, is Melissa going to offer a cooking class too? Of course not. Doesn't matter. They're going to be somebody else that is. It's okay. All right?
Okay. Yeah.
There's a way to ask questions. Hey, so where have you wanted to travel before? They tell you something and you go, oh my gosh, I just saw a really good deal on that. Okay? All you do is ask permission. Can I tell you about a really cool deal I saw to travel there? Who's going to say no to that? You ask permission to talk. You're no longer a salesperson. You're a friend. That's all you have to do.
Wow.
I
Good
like
point.
Okay, this is why you hate being a salesperson. The Mary Kay lady in the Target line sees somebody says, "Hey, you have eyes. You must need, eyeshadow. What's your name, Rob?" I mean, it's like what we've seen happen, right? We have that direct salesperson who does have this idea in their head that everybody's a potential customer, which is completely untrue.
Right.
You don't all need to be potential customers, but you can be nice to the lady with the 4 kids who's struggling and, help her with your kids or whatever. And if you talk, you make friends, and then you find out, I'm never going to travel if I don't find something cheaper, but I would love to, or I really want to take my kids to this place or something. Or maybe she doesn't. Who cared? You were a nicer person that day. It's okay.
Right.
Okay? I'm not going to be the trainer that goes, well, didn't you ask him about that? But I will be the trainer. Okay, so like I had a gal, I know, she sells a health product. I can't tell you what it does. But she was talking to this lady. I know. I'm like, I don't know.
It's not fun.
About it. But she had this gal she was talking to who was unhealthy, and she had some weight issues and knee issues, and she had this stuff, and she knew she had something to help it. She goes, she's telling me about her problems, and I didn't know how to tell her about what we had. And I said, well, this is the 3-step process I have for anyone when your product pops up. Okay. So for her, what are you using now? How did it work? What have you thought about trying next? Can I tell you about something? Okay.
Nice.
Instead of going, oh, your knees hurt. Oh, guess what? I totally get it. And I understand. And I have the perfect thing for you. How much do you want to do kind of a mental you? Okay. When's the last time you talked to your sister, a spouse, a friend, and you're venting, and they go, well, why don't you just do this? Right?
Right.
Okay, that's why we're worried about doing sales, because that's how we're worried people are going to feel about us, right? That's all you're saying, right? You don't want to get the mental you, okay? You don't have to. Just ask a few more questions, and I will tell you exactly what to ask.
Nice.
This is. It's 3 questions. And then ask, may I tell you a little bit about this that might fit? Did you know I don't try to convince you to tell them to say yes? I go, just, it might fit you. It might not. It's okay if it doesn't. And they're like, oh, you're not going to try to convince me? No, I'm just going to tell you about this, and then you make a good decision based on what you want.
Right.
Oh, okay. Does that bring the fear down a little?
Yeah.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
See, it actually can be fun, believe it or not.
That would be great.
It can be fun, and you'll get to go on trips more often. Win-win, right?
Woohoo!
Signed up anyway. Okay, that's all I do. I teach you how to set goals. How would you like to meet somebody in line and know that you were put there because that person needed you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Goal setting is another way to pray always. I teach you how to set goals, and guess what? You start running into people who need you.
Wow.
Really fun. Really fun.
Sounds awesome.
Okay? Don't think my little Friday thing wasn't a pray always goal setting thing. Okay. My prayer constantly is who needs what I have. And I'll have someone who, I think we're on board, and then they decide not to. Okay, Heavenly Father, it's okay. That must not be who needs it right now, or maybe we'll need it later. But they know what I have. Okay. It's
Right.
all just about working as hard as you can, and then believing that what you need will come as hard as you work. You match the two together, and really cool things happen.
Nice. Awesome.
So that's how I do it.
Very cool.
Okay. So we spend 90 days together, and we overlap. So we go from goal setting, which gets your excitement up. And then I teach you this thing that's going to make you feel a little, not a lot, a little out of your comfort zone just because it's new. You will see why it works better, and you'll go, oh, that's way better than what I've been doing or thought about doing but wouldn't open my mouth. Okay, that's probably what it really is. But you'll get some tools that then you're like, okay, I have this goal. Okay, I'm only this scared. I think I might be able to try it a couple times this week. And you go, oh, it wasn't so bad. And then you try it some more. You go, oh, okay. Michelle said they wouldn't throw rotten tomatoes at me. It was true. Okay, it's like when we're still friends, it's all good. Okay. I mean, you're talking about travel, guys, not, $11,000 cookware and, you know, you know, I'm like, oh my gosh. Okay, you're talking about something fun. This should be fun.
Right.
Really fun. I have other products I help with. This one's way more fun than some other things I talk about. Okay, traveling. I still believe in cruising. Okay, so that's what we go back and forth. I give you a goal setting tool. I give you another sales tool. Goal setting, get your excitement up. A little sales tool, and I teach you how to ask questions in a group. I teach you how to ask questions at Target. I teach you how to ask questions for recruiting. I teach you how to ask questions. I know you guys aren't supposed to do booths, but, you know, if you did something, you know, there's every single place in business, there's a set of questions I have for you, and you learn how to say them. And right now I'm in the process of making some forms for that to make it even easier for you. I keep tweaking what I do, you know, making it better and better. But all it is you guys just have to learn how to ask questions. And you go, oh, you hate to travel? Well, then we should not talk about that. No, you're not going to push it on me. You can keep their phone number in your phone, okay? Or one of those people search cruising with you, okay? That wouldn't be the worst thing in the world, right? Okay?
Right.
That's all we're going to do. And if you don't want to talk to those people in your phone, I don't care, okay? I'll give you tools to do it, but there's a lot of ways to skin a cat. There's not only one way to sell.
Nice.
Okay? So there's a lot of different things you can do. Okay? Do you want to go over number one, and I'll tell you week one, I'll tell you a little bit about what I believe in goal setting?
Sounds good.
We do that? Okay. Did you happen to print off any of that stuff? Hopefully not the 125-page book, but oh, look. Okay, I know some people are like, no, I want to print it. I'm like, okay.
I didn't print the book.
Huh?
I did not print the book.
Me neither.
I'll get that on Amazon in the next, I don't know, 4 to 6 weeks. I got to quit talking to people so much and do busy work. It's more fun to talk to you guys than it is to do.
Well, we're enjoying it. Yes, we did print off the 90-day challenge sheets and the point sheets. Did not print off the book.
Okay, good. Yeah, Phyllis totally did. She's like, no, I printed it off. I'm like, okay.
That's Phyllis. She's an overachiever.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, all right, whatever. I'm like, I could have gave you a copy that's printed, but all right. Anyway, okay. So you'll see on this thing, on the 90-day challenge, every week, there's follow-up things. I'll follow up with you to see if you've been doing chapters to read in my book. It's a PDF. Like you can open it in on your Kindle app on whatever you're using. Okay.
Yes.
So it's pretty easy. And then the other things I like to give you are additional reading if you want to. Okay. If you're feeling really stuck on this topic and like, man, I just cannot get over fear of failure, can't get over just I got to ask more questions, or can't get over, you know, there's Aladdin Factor, there's all sorts of books. Okay. And then I like to give you movies. Like if you know, when you take your break and you're with your whoever you love and you have a little, you know, Friday night or whatever night's your Friday night, there's some fun movies that just keep you motivated. Okay. You'll have lots of those. Actually, one day I'll finally put it out on one of my blogs. I have a list of 52 good movies to watch with your family. And some of them, people get upset. There might be one F word or something in it. But I love the stories behind them. I still watch them with my kids. But some people probably wouldn't watch them with their kids till they're 13. But that's not very many of them. But it's just fun. And the more you watch those movies and you see somebody else overcome something hard, the more your fear comes down and the more courage you get. Okay. So it's just good to surround yourself with as many positive things as you can. Okay. Makes sense?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, okay. So in regards to goals, I am a huge, huge believer in setting goals and then just watching the miracles happen, because really cool things happen. And you have to understand that to create positive change, you really need to start with goals. That's a great way to get started. And it really actually helps you start to create new habits. So one of the things, you have fears, but the other thing that you're probably lacking in a little bit is some discipline and consistency in doing your business. Would that be true?
Yes.
Okay, that's just everybody. You're totally normal, and that's part of what I help you with. Okay, that's why you have a tracker, because you're going to track your activity for the week. And you get to pick the activity, though. I won't tell you what to do. Well, tip for 2, review your goals and do something inspirational. But otherwise, you get to pick your business activity. Okay, so the thing that you're going to start with goal setting, it's actually going to be fun. And in fact, like, because you guys sell travel, oh my gosh, your bucket list are going to be way more fun than some people's I've seen. Yeah, I'm like, really? Can you dream a little bigger? But I'm like, whatever, it's your bucket
We
list.
can't put a limit on our bucket list.
Yeah, no. I'm
We
like,
own the bucket list. Are you kidding?
you own the bucket list. Okay, so there's this little visual I have that there's this little kind of imaginary opening up here in your head. And the more closed off you are from setting goals, the less like inspiration and problem solving and creative thinking and thinking outside the box that gets in. Okay, you've got to like open yourself up to allowing yourself to set goals and see if God, the universe, whatever you want to call it, will bring it the ideas and the resources to you. Okay, so most people aren't usually ready. Like, you both have this, I really want to replace this person, you know, mine or somebody else's full-time income, but I doubt highly right now you have much of a belief that that can happen. I'm just guessing. Okay.
Yep.
I
I want my 4. Let's be honest. My goal is my 4.
You're 4.
We'll
Okay,
see.
let's start with
I want to stop paying my fees.
let's start with small goals, because then you don't feel like a failure when you're like, I didn't replace his income. No, let's start a little bit smaller. But the bucket list, because when people put things down on their bucket list, they're usually not things that, if I don't get this, I'm just going to be heartbroken. You know, I don't know, travel this country, try this hobby, go, you know, hang gliding, you know, whatever it might be, you know, try this hobby, try this food. Okay, it's one of mine that I did last year. I had an international dinner group. I wanted to have this adult dinner for the school months of the year, have people that have been different places. We made different types of food. We could talk about different countries, because I love international stuff. I lived in Denmark for a year and a half. And I just wanted to do that. And I found couples and we did that. And it was so fun. Okay. So it doesn't have to be things that cost money. It's more about experiences, and it's not lose 20 pounds. Don't put that kind of crap on there. Okay. That doesn't really matter in the long run. Okay. It's about experiences. Okay. It's not about being the perfect wife or having a clean craft. Oh my gosh. No shoulds. Okay. Just fun stuff. That's all that goes on the bucket list. You just get to have fun for this first couple of weeks, okay? And it needs to be open-ended, so you get a piece of paper that you can keep adding to, or putting it on the notes of your phone, because that can go forever. Okay, it's open-ended. You're going to keep adding to it. Like, you know, the company is going to come out and go, we're going to this country now. And you're like, sweet, bucket list. Okay, you're just going to keep adding to it. There's no limit to the bucket list, okay?
Okay.
All right. So this will start opening up your heart, bringing down the fear a little bit, okay? And that those people that you're supposed to meet and those kind of things, you'll feel this like weird shift, and you'll go, hey, Michelle's saying this, not sure I believe it's going to happen for me. And the next week you'll go, oh my gosh, I met this person. And I go, isn't it fun? It's really cool. I promise. Look, I've met you too, right? Okay. Lots of fun. So I met Melissa a couple weeks ago, but I had to get to this other thing, and I didn't get to talk to her, and I so badly wanted to. And look, here I'm talking to her.
Yeah.
Think about it. Put it out there, okay? All right. So I really believe that goal setting is just another way, when it says in the Bible to pray always. It's just another way to pray always, because we're gonna, at one point, we'll start putting stuff up in your house and on your keychain and all sorts of cool places to remember what your goal is. And every time you see that, you can just have that little, Heavenly Father, please help me with this. You don't necessarily say it out loud. I guess it depends on where you're at. Okay. But, you know, you just have that little internal prayer of keep helping me, you know, get to this thing I want to do. I mean, you talk about how much you'd like to not be, you know, to have this replace your income and bring your husband home and these kind of things. Those are heartfelt things. But, and we'll talk about this later, but right now you're probably repelling it a little bit because you're worried about it not happening versus being excited about the possibility you get what you think about, and you're thinking about what if it doesn't happen, what if it doesn't happen, instead of help me find a way to make it happen. Just, you see what I'm saying? Okay, and that will shift. These mindsets will start to shift as we do these different activities. That it gets better, I promise. Okay, but I don't try to make you do it all at once. It takes time. No matter what your goal is, as long as you set goals, you'll get farther than you would have had you not set a goal. Okay, that whole shoot for the stars and miss, hit the moon, you know, versus aim for a pile of, you know, dung and hit. Okay, that kind of thing. All right. So this week, bucket lists. Everybody gets it, and you're going to send me the coolest country that you're going to go to that I've never even heard of. Okay, you're going to tell me something cool on your bucket list. All right. So let's look at the trackers. You both have it printed out? Yes, no, maybe?
Yes.
Okay. So we talked
I
about
didn't print off one for Kayla because I didn't know she was going to be here, but she's sharing mine right now to look
That's
at.
fine. She can see it. That's all I need is her eyes on it. Okay. So most of the, well, besides fear, that's probably one of the number one reasons people don't accomplish their goals or set them. The next one is that people don't realize that we have to change our habits. And when we put it down at New Year's and then we don't do anything about it, we didn't create the habit, and we have to be nice to ourselves. Okay. Habits are hard to make, but that's where these tools help you make them, and it's not quite as painful. You know, like when you start getting up at 5 every morning to work out or something like that. Okay, that's what I mean by painful. It's out of your comfort zone, and you're tired, and you're doing something different. Okay, not physical pain, but I mean sort of. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so the whole goal here is to help you pick those things that you need to start getting in the groove of doing your business consistently, and in your personal goals. They don't have to all be business goals at all, because sometimes we feel a little more confident about ourselves. It's a little easier to do some of the business stuff, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so if you're looking at your tracker, okay, and I actually might redo it and flip it and put the goals on the top and the points on the bottom, but anyway, working with that. But if you look there on the bottom, okay, you have right now it says review your goals and daily inspiration. Okay, these are two things I require of my clients. You got to review your goals every day. The only thing you have to review right now is a bucket list. And how fun is that? You're just going to keep thinking about all the countries you're going to travel to. And then the other one is daily inspiration. Okay, daily inspiration can be, if you love to read your Bible, it can be one of your favorite positive inspirational books. I have a list if you're missing one. Okay. You know, anything for power positive thinking, how to win friends and influence people. That's a great one, because that really does teach you how to talk to people and not be offensive. Okay. And not, oh, you got eyes. Okay. It's all about listening to people is what it comes down to. Okay. There's Success Principles by Jack Canfield. There's Last Lecture by Randy Pausch. Okay. If you need a book, let me know. I'll give you some ideas. Okay. So those are two things that you need to do 5 to 7 times a week. You go to the top on that line, it says target points on the left. So
Yeah.
you get to choose how many days a week you're going to do that, and you write in a number between 5 and 7.
Okay.
You got to do it almost every day. But I know sometimes we get off our routines on Saturdays and Sundays, or maybe probably okay, but 5 to 7 times a week you need to be doing that. Okay. It keeps the excitement up, and I promise you, it brings down the fear some. It's all about remembering why it's worth doing the uncomfortable thing, and that somebody else did something hard and you probably can too. Okay.
Right.
Pushes down the fear a little bit. Okay. We have to do this every day, because it really makes a difference. So the next 3 boxes, you get to pick things. So thinking about personal goals and thinking about business goals, what would be some things you would want to put? You got to remember they're habits. They're not your long-term goals. They're action that you need to take to get to your goal. Does that kind of make sense? So do you ever do like a get together with a group of, well, no, that's not the best example. Do you both already have people on your team?
Yes.
Okay. How consistently do you follow up with them right now? If it's not
Not
consistent at all,
okay.
Not enough.
so there isn't consistency.
No.
So what if you put that I'm going to make contact with every team member I have this week? Could be
Okay.
text,
For me,
email.
it's going to be easier than Anita.
Huh?
I don't have as many people, but it would still be a challenge because some of them I don't know.
Okay. So,
Right.
and like I said, it can be in any form. I'm not saying this is something you have to do. I'm just trying to give you an idea. Okay.
Yeah.
So what you would do if it was contact all your team members. Melissa, how many do you have?
Personal, I have 2. Team-wise, I have 12.
12. Okay. So there's 2 ways you can do this. You can either pick, I'm going to do 2 or 3 days phone calling, or you can put in 12 and you mark in the box which days you made contact with a team member and you total up to 12 slashes by the end of the week.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? That option?
Yeah.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Very big into go for 2 hours of phone calling, get it over with, have it done, or this is when I know I'm going to do my phone calling so it's not nagging you when you're doing other things. Get it over with, be done with it, then you can relax the rest of the week. Okay, we all know getting on the phone is nobody's, most fun activity to do. So
Yeah.
do it in 2-hour sessions, so you're not stopping and starting, and you will have success of some sort. You do it for 2 hours straight versus if you do it half an hour and everybody says no and it's negative and you couldn't get anybody on the phone, then you don't want to get on again. 2 hours pretty much guarantees you'll have some success at some point.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, that's just an idea. Okay, so how many of you have lists of people that you've wanted to talk to this about?
I have about 150 names.
150 names. How about you, Anita?
Yeah, at least 150.
Okay, so 150. So what if your goal was to talk to 3 people this week?
Yeah, that would be doable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're just going to break this down to small goals. Okay. I'll never ask you to talk to 150 people in a week. Well, if that's your goal, it's up to you, but I won't ask you to do that. Okay. No, that's not a good idea. You're going to burn out and yeah, nobody's going to be happy then. Okay.
Right.
So you need to pick some goals. It can be, exercise. It can be daily planning. It can be, what other business thing would the company suggest you do to be successful?
It really truly boils down to the phone calls. It's just getting an opportunity to get in front of people, whether you're physically in front of them or they're in front of what you want them to see. Like,
Do you ever do group presentations or is it always one-on-one?
We do, there's things that we do at travel parties, I guess it would be the group presentation.
Okay.
And we do those, but I am speaking for myself in that those are actually harder to get people to, in my opinion, than getting in front of them. Well, I'm not gonna lie. It's hard for me to get them to a travel party or for me to get in front of them anyway. So
Okay.
I want to start with getting in front of them and then build to getting people all frozen. You have some awesome faces going on.
It's like, when I download it on YouTube, there's always some like weird thing I'm doing.
Yeah.
I'm like, because I'm like, ooh, that makes people want to watch that video. I'm like, oh,
Yeah. Awesome. But I want to start with getting in front of people and then get to the point where that invite that gets me in front of people gets them to a travel party.
Okay. How about this, where you guys just have fear of talking to people right now? What if just for the week you have the challenge of you say hi and talk to 10 people when you're out and about? Like, it doesn't have to be about business. Talk about the boat races, talk about how hot it is, talk about, I'm going to give you some tools to do that, but we can't do that all today. Okay. But you guys just need to make some friends, and you're some of the nicest, funnest people I know. Okay. So it's not going to be a problem. You just need to talk to people. Don't worry about getting their names and numbers. I mean, if somehow it totally goes there, then yeah, go for it if you're comfortable with it. I want you to start talking to people. Just call in. I'm going to give you some tools to follow up on team members. I'm not going to do those today. But just, hey, I was just thinking about you. How's it going? Can I do anything for you? Okay. Just any of those goals. You don't even have to do any of those. Maybe you're going to do daily planning, walking, and drinking water. I don't know. But you need to pick something. It's just about creating some new habits and start using that tracker consistently.
Okay.
Okay. Now, the other thing I give you,
right?
say again.
3 of those new habits.
Those 3 new boxes. Okay. So in the track, okay. And then on the right-hand side is a box for things that you'd only do once a week. It says weekly activity, weekly goals. What does it say? I don't know.
Weekly activities.
Weekly activities. So those are things you'd only do once a week. 2-hour phone call, date with husband, call your mom, whatever it is. Okay. And you get 5 points for those. So you decide your weekly activity, your little short-term habits, and your once-a-week goals. You add up all those points across for the target. Then you check things off as you go through the week. You put those points up on top. You divide them and give yourself a percentage. And as long as it's 5% or above, you did something towards your business.
Nice.
Okay?
Like
I'm
it.
not about going, what? Why don't you do? No. The only thing I will ever say to you, if you did nothing that week, is, so what do you want to do this week then? Okay? That's all I ever do. There's no point in going through the whole why, mom. Oh, no. Okay, that makes you not like me. Okay, I don't like that. I want to move forward. And okay, so that was a crappy week. What are we gonna do now? No big deal. All right. So let's see. Okay, there's one other thing that you're gonna learn something about here that I'm gonna tell you about. It's called motivational style. It's down at the end, towards the end of the second page, motivational style. There's some things that are really, really important to know about yourself. This is something you could do. You could call your team members and ask them these 3 questions. This would be easy. Would you two mind conversing with each other for just a minute while I go check on something?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, hang on.
Okay. Kayla went to go pee. So where is she at about the motivational?
On this page.
Okay. Now, when we were talking about the calling team members, I mean, that could be, she wasn't saying that it has to be one of our daily habits right now.
Yeah, no, not yet.
We can do if we want to.
Yeah, we can. She said it sounds, she's like, you guys just have, you're afraid of talking to people, so why don't you just talk to 10 people about anything?
Right. Okay. And then if we want to check with our team members, how are they doing? Is there anything we can do to help them? Okay.
Yeah.
That
She
could be
did
one.
say, yeah, and she did say talking to using these 3 questions would be good to call and ask your team members.
Which are?
Motivational style ones.
Oh, okay. Right.
And help me with the bucket list. Like the bucket list is just things, places we want to go, things we want to do. Is that what she's saying the bucket list is?
Yeah, I think so. Things that we don't believe we really can do, but we want to do. Those peak life experiences.
Okay.
Maybe, I think that's what she was meaning. So what you got off the bucket list? Are those peak life experiences that you don't think you can do, but those are things that you really want to do?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's what you got. Okay.
Yeah, like dance in Cuba.
Dancing in Cuba. Okay.
Check that off.
Hang gliding in New Zealand.
Mm-hmm.
Zip lining in Costa Rica.
There you go.
Under the canopy.
Nice.
Nice. Hey, there's a zip lining in Montana I got to show you.
Oh, yeah.
There's a zip lining in Idaho.
There's a zip lining in Idaho.
Oh, hey, John.
Hello.
It's good to see you, sir.
Like fun.
You can move that now.
Oh, gotta love John. We missed you yesterday, John.
Hello.
He said they missed you yesterday.
What was I yesterday?
You were at work, not at the boat races.
I know. I should have been in the boat races.
He should have been at the boat races. Brooke
Yeah.
was dead.
Oh, yeah. They probably should have just closed up shop.
Yeah, especially over there.
Yeah.
This is fun to watch, by the way.
Him being upside down.
Makes me want to go tickle him.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah. So what do you think about this? Oh, here she is. Can't talk about her now.
You gossiping about me. It was all good, though, right?
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so motivational style. This is so fun when you understand this. Like, you are going to be like, oh, this means I can talk to people, find out if they might want to travel. When I know this about them, I can tell them what part of the travel thing to tell them about, or maybe we shouldn't talk about it at all. It's really kind of cool. It helps you understand yourself, okay? So there's these 3 questions. It's from a book called Get Motivated, Tamara Lowell, but this is the basis of it, okay? The first one is, when you're doing something, is it more out of the desire for money and titles, or is it out of a desire to change the world? Now, before you think one's bad and one's not good, or that didn't make sense. Before you think one's good and one's bad, it's really important to understand that the Mother Teresa's of the world need the Bill Gates to donate money, okay? There's people who are very motivated by money, but who are very, very generous, okay? So there's nothing wrong with being driven by money and titles, okay? Depending on how you choose to do it, okay? That doesn't mean you don't have integrity just because you're that, okay? Because so many more women are usually driven by, motivated by changing the world than men, but you may not be. But anyway, I
think I'm motivated by money to improve the world.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly. And so that's how you said it perfect, Melissa. When I'm working with someone who's driven by changing the world, it's like, okay, what's that money going to do? It's going to do this thing for me. It's going to help me change the world, okay? Some people don't put that together. So you're farther ahead, Melissa, than some. Right? So yeah, it's pretty funny. I'm like, but the only way to change the world is to have money. Oh yeah, I guess we'll do something about that, okay?
Yep.
Now, knowing those things about one yourself. So when you set your goal, if it's about change the world, I need to help this many people have the opportunity to travel. If it's titles and money, I need to get this many people because it makes me this much money and gets me this title. You need to word your goals based on your motivation.
Okay. So like, I need the money and title, or money and promotions, so that I can have time freedom, so I can have time to help change people's lives.
Okay. So like, when you get that money and title and they put you up on stage and you get whatever, blah, 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 is that exciting and do you love that attention, or does it make you uncomfortable?
It makes me uncomfortable.
Okay, so you're changing.
I mean, no, I mean, yes, it's exciting. I will feel good about getting the promotions because I worked hard. Don't get me wrong.
No.
That excites me. I don't want to be recognized.
When you get attention from it, are you more motivated by how you feel on the outside, or because somebody else has said something that, woohoo? And
Somebody else has said something. Yeah.
Well, we're meeting him at
Which
3:45.
one?
Where somebody else has said something.
Oh, okay. All right. So the money and titles is somewhat a driving force for you. It's not that you're only one or the other, but one usually tips the scale a little bit. Like, most people will only try to improve the world for so long in their job until they feel like they've been totally dumped on and haven't been appreciated and never were paid decent. You know what I mean? Like, that will only go so far, you know, unless you have money, you don't have to worry about, you know, paying bills or something. But so everybody has a little of both, but sometimes it's really good to understand why one's more than the other. So let me give you an example. I have a gal I work with. She's an author, and she was trying to decide if she's going to work with me. And she said, she was very self-aware. She said, Michelle, I am terrified of success. She'd been told by different people who'd read her book, this is going to be a huge hit. This is huge. This is so exciting. She goes, I don't want to do interviews. I don't care about a ton of money. I am terrified of success. I don't want to do that part of it. I said, okay, so why are you writing this book then? And she goes, because I know it'll help you. It's like a fantasy, kind of learn a lesson, like Narnia, Harry Potter kind of thing. Okay. I don't know what the theme actually is because I don't read novels. But anyway, So, but she, you know, she's very passionate about this book and the story behind it, and everybody that's read it has just said really cool things about it to me. So, but she's like, I'm terrified of success, which to me is amazingly self-aware. And so she decided she was going to work with me. And I text back to her, I says, you're going to change so many youth's lives. And she texts me right back. She goes, I'm so glad you said that, because as soon as I hit send, my heart started pounding. Why am I doing this? And you brought me right back to my why. Okay. If someone talks to her about making a ton of money and being interviewed by Oprah, she will not keep working. Okay. I'm
Right.
very, very careful what I say to her, because she did. The book's published. I mean, I'm so excited for her. It's on the shelves now. It's way cool. And, but she's like, Michelle, the reason I kept going is because you kept me focused on what I was doing. I had my tracker. I had my daily activity. I focused on one thing at a time, and that I was helping youth. And that's what I kept in front of my eyes. She couldn't, her husband wanted her to make money, but her husband wasn't doing the actions. Okay? It doesn't matter what her husband wanted. I mean, when it comes down to the actions, not that he doesn't matter. That's not what I'm saying, but you know what I mean? Okay. It's so important that you understand this about yourself, your teammates, and your customers. So the person who wants to change the world, so think about this for a minute. Don't you have some trips that you go on that you do like some service?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. The
World
person-
Ventures Foundation.
Yeah, the person who's the change the world person, you're going to emphasize that big time.
Right.
Okay. The person who's money driven and title driven, that's going to be something you mention, but you're going to focus on how much money you make when you do this many people and this many people and get this title. And okay, do you see the difference? So then, because this is what people do, they infomercial. They tell you every reason why you should buy their skincare, buy their cookware. You know, they tell you 16 different ways and reasons to use it, hoping one of those will resonate with you. They don't even know that's why they're doing it, but that's what they do. You know, if I keep talking, they'll finally find one of the reasons that will match for them, that they'll need it. You don't have to do that.
Right.
That's what makes people annoying. That's why we don't want to be salespeople. You ask enough good questions that you go, oh, well, then this is the part of this that you'll want to know about. Okay. And you listen. If you were in a sales situation and you know you talked more than you listened, you're going to come back to me and go, I need more questions. I talk too much again. And I go, okay, we're going to fix this. Okay. The whole thing is we listen, we go, we got that, and that. Oh, and it's a done deal and you're still friends. In fact, now you're better friends because you gave them something they wanted. If they don't have any needs for that, you go, you know what? This isn't meant for you. And they go, oh, you're not going to try to convince me of something. No, we're still friends. Okay. That's all it comes down to. Okay. The other two questions are you a variety or consistency person? Do you like things to change up? Do you like to do different things? Or do you want to wake up and your day look the same every day? You do the same activity? Which of those, which kind of person are you in regards to that?
I like variety,
I had a feeling you would.
but I also like there has to be something that's consistent.
Right.
Like it has to be like whether it's I wake up on time or I work out at the same time or this is what I eat for breakfast. Like there has to be something that keeps me grounded. So that's like something that there's one consistent factor.
Right.
So
60-40, but see, you're able to do different classes on different days and change things up. Like some people that like a line job would never be able to do what you do. So you definitely like variety more than some people, but do you see what I'm saying? Okay, so when you understand that about a person, you got to get creative. There's a lot more variety in your business than there is consistency, but you've got to find the consistent parts of it and how to make it work for them.
Yeah.
Okay. The last one is, do you enjoy working alone or in a group? And when you understand that about somebody, that's going to help you go, ooh, you get to go on this tour with all these people if they're a group person. Or, oh, guess what? You can reserve that private getaway for you and your husband and get that secluded, you know, go away, not talk to anyone thing. But do you see how if you talk about the wrong thing, you're going to shut that person down?
Yep.
Yeah.
Kind of cool, huh?
Quickly.
Right?
Yeah.
So this gives you the tools to have these conversations with people and be a lot more authentic, and that you're not just trying to sell them on why you signed up. They don't care why you signed up, but that's the only thing you know to talk about right now.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what you're trained to do. That's what most salespeople tell you to do, is talk about why you got in it. No, they don't care. They want to know if there's anything in it for them. The only way to find that out is to ask questions. Okay.
Yeah.
But if you understand these things about your team, this will better help you understand how to support them. So make a list of your team members. Next week, tell me about some of the things you found out about these people, and which of those things they are. You're not going to use it quite yet, but it will open your eyes to ways to talk to them and what to focus on when you call them another time. Take good notes and keep them.
Okay.
Make sense?
Okay.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So one other thing I want to show you, and I will email this to you. It's a rough draft, but I think it's something good to note. And especially, Anita, for example, where you do have another quote unquote full-time job. Oh, did I shut that down? Oh no, it's right here. Okay, I'm going to do a screen share on this one real quick. I'm co-authoring this book, and we're talking about how to get something started or get something rejuvenated in 30 days of business. So it would be something different than direct sales. It would be more like your chef, your classes that you do.
Gotcha.
And, or I'm sorry, yeah, Melissa. I'm like, I said the right name. I've been talking too many hours. Okay. So let me show you the screen share. What I got thinking about is, if we have a job, a job, we wait